All right, so welcome back, everyone. Today we are in module number 3 of our 3-part training series. This is the final module. So I hope you've enjoyed the first 2 modules. We're going to do a quick recap and then get into the 3rd module on the 3 things to stop doing today in your business. And the first one, if you remember, module 1 was all about stopping having that employee mindset, right? Being when we're stuck in our business, we're wearing too many hats, doing too many things. We have a to-do list and we're just doing what's right in front of us without really looking at the future, doing all the activities in our business and not really planning, not having time for the important, the more revenue generating activities, focusing on maybe more of the administrative activities and just the doing activities. And we gave a few different tips and things you could start doing. And a lot of it, in fact, all of it really has to do with that leader's mindset. Start having that leader's mindset where we're looking at the future, we're planning for the future, we're looking at the important activities that we can start doing right now. And then we went to the really fun one, which was stop ignoring the numbers. Now, if you're still with us here, I acknowledge you for that. For those of you who may have dropped off, you want to remain ignorant, and we'll see how that works for you. Because ignoring the numbers, as I mentioned, is not bliss. Ignorance is not bliss when it comes to ignoring your numbers. We need to be aware of what our cost of goods are. We need to be aware if we're profitable, and I mean profitable and while we're taking an income for ourselves. And if you know the difference between income and revenue and gross margin, gross profit, and not judging your business success or where it's at by the current bank balance, because it's not a true picture. Because as we talked about in module number 2, especially if you have employees, you're going to have payroll coming out. You're going to have payroll remittance coming out. You're going to have, and then for all businesses, you're going to have taxes that you're going to have to remit. And of course, vendors we're going to have to pay. And that for a lot of people comes as a shock, although it happens every single month. You look at your bank balance one day, it's like, oh, I got enough here in the bank. I'm going to go get a new computer. And then you forget about what's happening at the end of the month with tax remittances or payroll remittances or in 2 weeks, so on and so forth. So if you're not already working with a qualified bookkeeper or accountant, I highly recommend you do that. Okay. Today, the 3rd stop is to stop living a happened to life and start living a created life. This one is one of my favorite because over my 30 plus years of running multiple small businesses and coaching, mentoring entrepreneurs and business owners for the past 11 years, I see a lot of people in living a happened to life in 2 ways. The first way is they just get up every day and live a happen to life. They just live life, whatever comes their way, that's it, without being too intentional. We talked about being intentional in module number 1. We're going to talk about it here as well. We need to be intentional, and I'm going to give you a few different tips here on how to do that. But the thing is, don't just go through the day and let things happen to you. Because what happens is then you start having that mindset of the happen to me mindset, which is the other way people live a happen to life. And that is when the economy gets bad, what's your answer? Yeah, things are really good because the economy happened to me, or the government happened to me, or my competitors are undercutting me. That's happening to me. It's all about things that are happening to me. And we need to start taking control of that and living a created life. And we need to start doing this today. Okay? Don't wait another day for any of this. You can see in the top right corner, life doesn't happen to you. Life happens for you. Let's live a created life. Let's let things that show up in our lives, the challenges, turn them into opportunities. What's the meaning behind what's happening? And this is where we really become intentional. We take control, we create our own success, our own results, our own life. And the first one, and this is where I really love working with my clients, whether it's in my Create group program or our one-on-one coaching, and that is to get clear on your why. I'm telling you right now, if you are not clear on why you do what you do, the purpose behind what you're doing, it's going to be a rough ride, because there's going to be those days that are, you wake up in the morning and it's dreary, it's dark, it's raining, it's cold, or maybe you lost a big account, or a client isn't paying you, or an employee quits on you, or the kids get sick. All these things that are happening to you and showing up in your life. And that's how you take it, rather than, okay, this is where it's at. It's happening for me. What can I learn from this? But we need to go back to the why. Because if you have your why clear and written down as to why you're doing what you're doing, that's going to help you snap out of it and get through the day. It's like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's bigger than me. And it's not just a why that is a mission statement that you plop on your wall in your office or on your website. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about why for you. It's not a why up here. It's a why in here. I think as business owners, we tend to, or we're conditioned to think more up here and less down here. Think with your heart. Why? Why are you doing? Why do you get up in the morning and do this kind of business thing that you do? And the second one is to get clear on the what. And when we get clear on what we want to create, and I'm not talking 10, 20 years down the road, forget that. I'm talking 2 to 3 years down the road. What do you want your business to look like? What do you want your life to look like? Okay. Try to get as clear as you can. And we can help you do that. But just slow things. I always say slow down in order to speed up. Slow things down. Close your eyes. Imagine what your life, an ideal life for you, business and life would look like in 2 to 3 years. What are you doing every single day? Who are you serving? How many hours a week are you working? Who's on your team? What's the, even as detailed as where your office is, or the color of the paint on the walls, the type of chair you're sitting in, how many vacations are you taking? Who are you spending the most time with? And why is that important to you? So I call it the why, what, why. That's kind of a 2B. 2A is your what. 2B would be the why behind the what. Why do you want that what? Why do you want it? Why is it important to you? And the third one, we talked a little bit about it in the first module, and I'm bringing it back here because it's all about being intentional and focusing on the right activities. Again, this is going to change everything. If you can get clear on your why and your what, and stop having a busyness and stop doing everything yourself and focusing on the wrong activities, and instead focus on the right activities, the ones that are going to move you forward, the ones that energize you and are in your strength zone, everything's going to change for you. Everything's going to change for you. But we need to be intentional. And I would add another one in there, consistent. Being consistent with being intentional and doing the right activities. That's all about being a leader. This whole mini series, mini course, whatever you want to call it, is all about being a stronger leader for yourself and for your company. Okay, so that concludes the 3 stops and what you should be doing instead. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear your insights, your takeaways. You can find me on socials at Marshall Stern on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You can email me back. Love to hear what your insights are. Also, please join our Facebook community, the Business Inner Circle, and you're going to be getting another email in a few days with a special gift and as a thank you for attending and watching this 3-part training. Have an amazing day, be intentional, and let's start creating the business and life that not only that we desire, but that we deserve. Bye for now.